Welcome to Season 2 of What in the World. I'm so excited to show you this adventure. I'll be attempting to solo canoe across Canada, from the Rocky Mountains to Montreal. That's around 3,100 miles, or 5,000 kilometers. I've never canoed before in my life, and I've done no training prior to this trip. I'm throwing myself in the deep end and learning as I go. As Canada is very much seasonal, the plan is to do this over 2 years. The goal this year is to make it to Thunder Bay on Lake Superior, and I've got 4 months to get there. So buckle up and come along, and watch me tackle a ton of challenges I've never had to face before, including rapids, isolation, horrendous weather, wildlife I've never experienced, and on top of that, the mental and physical challenge of canoeing across Canada. So, let's go. Alright people, I am in Canada. I arrived here yesterday. I stayed at a friend's house in Vancouver for one night, then I caught the bus out here to Kelowna. John's lent me his truck behind me there, and I need to drive to Revelstoke, and that's where the canoe is that I'm picking up. So that's the plan, that's what I'm doing. Let's go. I ordered a bunch of stuff through Valhalla in New Denver, and they were so awesome. They are a family-run outdoor equipment shop. Got a list together. They put that list together and gave me a good price. And they've even thrown in a free hat and a few dehydrated food and things. And they actually arranged for my canoe and all of the gear that I ordered through them to be taken to Revelstoke. So they just went out of their way for me. So if ever you're in Canada and you're in need of equipment, I highly recommend using the guys at Valhalla in New Denver. How beautiful is Canada? I cannot wait for this trip now that I'm driving through the country. All right, I'm at U-Haul. I've got the trailer on the back, and now I've got about a 2.5 hour drive to Revelstoke. I am getting excited. So here's my beast. And it is far bigger than what I was thinking. I am stoked. Check out Valhalla, New Denver. I'll put their details right here. Yeah, awesome guys. I think it weighs about 30 kilo, 17 feet and 30 kilo, which I think that's pretty good. It's pretty light. Now I haven't done this before, so I'm just going to attempt it by myself, see what happens. I'm not sure if that's how you do it normally, but I did it first try, so it's not too bad. Okay, so my canoe is a two-man canoe, or a tandem canoe. If there was going to be two of us in here, I'd be sitting here, second person sitting here, this being the bow. But because it's just going to be me for 99% of it, I'm going to shift it and I'm going to sit here, and that's going to end up being the bow being the front. And that is for weight distribution. So if I sat here on my own, what would end up happening is the canoe would actually be up in the air at the bow here. Wouldn't be sitting flat in the water, but the bow seat is further forward. And then so if I sat there plus put my luggage and my weight of my food and everything here, then that should bring that bow down and should sit flatter, which means I'll go straighter, which means the wind shouldn't affect me as much. That's going to be my deal. And I told that to Northwater, so they have built this. They've completely custom made this spray deck. They've even put attachments on there for my solar panels, because I'm gonna have solar panels on the top so I can keep everything charged, keep all my batteries charged, all my cameras going. Once again, Northwater, really, really good. Really recommend them. But, okay, so Morgan sent me some instructions on how to actually put this deck on. So let's get into it. It does seem very strange drilling holes in my brand new canoe. The canoe that I got is a Novacraft Prospector 17, but I spoke to Novacraft on the phone a couple of months ago and they didn't want to sponsor me, so I'm going to be taking their label off and putting my own one on.
Captain's Log Chapter 1. We're here, we're getting ready for bears, we're going to hit the bears with oars. With those little oar pockets.
Yeah. One of my packages has arrived. This one I'm quite excited about. Let's go have a look. Okay, now open it.
Your hat.
Looking good, Bubba.
Also, if you're interested in getting any of this swag for yourself, then check out my website, www.whatintheswag.com. Check it out. So it's time to show you my gear. But where do I start? So I'm taking 2 singlets, 3 long sleeve hooded quick dry shirts, 1 What in the World hoodie, 3 pairs of shorts, fingerless gloves, 2 pairs of quick dry socks, 1 fleece, a waterproof jacket, water resistant pair of pants, waterproof pair of pants, 2 quick dry t-shirts, and 1 jacket for bugs, 1 pair of quick dry shoes, plus my running shoes. So that is my clothes. Moving over here is my camping. Obviously the main one is the tent itself. It's a big Agnes tent. Inside here I got my blow up mattress, sleeping bag, and my blow up pillow. I've got one, it's a very light camping stool. I've got a tarp, knives and forks, 2 dog bowls. They were cheaper than if they were for humans, so it's the same thing I'm pretty sure. 2 cups, stainless steel cup that I can throw in the fire and boil water. This is a camping grill that I can just build a fire and that just goes over the top of it. This here is a water bottle that has a filter in it, so I basically just scoop up river water and basically drink it straight away. I'm gonna try not to use this too often, but in case that I can't make a fire for some reason, I have a frying pan, pretty lightweight stainless steel frying pan. This is a clothesline. I've got my knife. This is a regular lighter and this is an electric lighter. Moving over here to survival gear. I have 2 flints, I have a life straw, which I can just put in the river and start drinking. My medical kit, I've got a compass. I have my fishing rods, my fishing rod and lures, a small spade, a small axe, and it's got other attachments as well, like a spear head and a knife head, and it also comes with a flint and a compass. I have some Dyneema line, it's about 15 meters of that. I actually have 2 solar panels, a Garmin InReach in case of emergencies. Also, you can follow my adventure. If you become a patron, I can hand you my details for that. And you can follow me in real time and see where I am in the world. Safety kit. Inside there is a floating line, flashlight, a whistle, bear spray. I have these flare bear bangers, which goes into this sort of pen looking thing. And with one of these inside it, with one of those cartridges, it lets off a very loud bang, which would scare a bear away. So that would be to scare one away, and this would be if it starts getting too close. I'm also taking a drone, 3 GoPros, a whole bunch of batteries, a spare lens for the camera that I'm using right now. Yeah, and then all the cables, charging cables, drone charger, battery banks, external hard drives, chargers, another external hard drive. And then if you come here, we've got GoPro chest mount, GoPro head mount, SD cards, pain relief, antibiotic ointment, diarrhea relief, because remember I'm drinking river water, allergy control. This is for upset stomachs if I get nauseous and start vomiting. This is for an upset stomach. Alcohol for cleaning, extra band-aids, sunscreen, and then I have my toiletries, dehydrated food, and I have about a month's worth of dehydrated food. So that is all of my gear, all spread out, and it is all going to fit inside here. I have 2 65-litre dry bags and a barrel. And if, in case you're not from Canada, this barrel is, I don't think it's a beer barrel, I think it's just a barrel. Apparently there's a difference between beer barrels and barrels, but I got that. So all of the food, all of my dehydrated food, anything that has an odor to it is going to go in there, and every night I'm going to hoist that up in the air. And I also have this kind of small cooler bag in case I end up finding some fresh food for the first week or something like that. So that is my gear. I have done this all on my own. I've never done this before. I've never canoed across anywhere before, let alone Canada. So I'm guessing this is what I need, but feel free to tell me in the comments that I'm an absolute idiot. Everything I'm taking needs to fit in the canoe. So I don't really know where to leave it, because I don't know if this is enough, but this is what I'm taking. I don't know if I'm missing something major, but this is what I'm taking, you know. I think I've done well. I think I'm not taking any luxuries. Of course, one luxury, my ukulele. John and Glennon wanted me to tell you that if anyone is in Kelowna, come to this house, because they will put you up for weeks. They feed you, they let you spread all of your stuff all around the house, and they don't complain, not to your face anyway. So if ever you're in Kelowna, look them up. No, but seriously, yeah, thanks so much, guys. I really, really, really appreciate it.
Anytime, come back to us.
It's huge for me.
I love you forever. Never forget me when you're famous. Make sure that you, come back. Because it's been, 9 years since I've seen you?
Don't say it if you don't mean it, because I'll be back.
Oh, you needed a mom luck.
Yeah.
Hi guys.
Bye, John.
See ya.
Of course I was going to forget one thing. Headphones. So I was all packed up and ready to go. I put a post on Facebook about getting a ride with my gear and my canoe all the way to Golden, a town in the Rockies where my friend Tanner and Sam live. And I got lucky. Kyla was going that way and she was happy to put my canoe on her roof. So off we went. Good morning. Ooh, it's cold. So I am in Golden now, or a little bit south of Golden, in a place called Parson. I was actually here maybe 8 or 9 years ago. I was here for a workaway. I was just traveling through Canada and I applied online, got chatting with Sam and Tanner, and they've got a place up here in the hill, and they've basically built on their land a few earth homes or earth ships. So I was here helping build those, so it's great to be back and actually see them complete. It's such a beautiful part of the world here. It's so quiet, it's so green, there's so much life, and it's just getting me so excited about my trip. It looks like I'm going to start my trip tomorrow morning. Tanner's going to drive me from here to my starting point, which I'm thinking I'm going to start at the Saskatchewan River crossing. Now it's starting to hit home for me. Like, now it's becoming a reality. And even being here in this place here and being in the wilderness, even that feels like a step, it's like, it's going to be this times 1,000. Oh boy, what have I got myself into? So as we sat around the fire, knowing I was starting my trip the very next morning, strangely, I wasn't nervous. I just thought, whatever happens, happens. I mean, how do you mentally prepare for a trip like this anyway? I had no expectations, because I've never canoed in my life, so I had no idea what was coming tomorrow morning. So no, I wasn't nervous, but that was all about to change. All right, good morning. It's 5 o'clock in the morning, and Tanner is now going to take me about an hour and a half, 2 hours, to a place called Saskatchewan River Crossing, and that's where I'm starting my journey from, and it's happening now. A part of me is still wondering, how did I get to this point? Or was it just a dream, a thought of how cool would it be to cross Canada in a canoe? I'm mixed with excitement and nerves equally, so yeah, here we go. Bunch of elk just chilling on the side of the highway. All right, so we're coming up to the start now, and it is safe to say that I am shitting myself. And just questioning all of my decisions, but there's no backing out. So yeah, I had it in mind, a month before summer, that there would be a bit less snow than this. Surprise. What in the fucking world am I doing? Oh What a surreal moment. My first few paddles. My first little rough bit of water here. Ahoy. Now I'm trying not to think about it because it hurts when I do, but I lost a lot of crucial footage that would have taken this episode to another level. You'll see what happened in an episode or two, so stay tuned for that. And just imagine this episode being way better than it actually is. Ha ha! Oh! Easy. It's my girl. She handles it like a boss. Hey, any name suggestions? I don't have a name for my canoe yet. So if you've got any name suggestions, let's hear them. How cool is this, man? This is cool. So it looks like fires have come through here in the last couple of years. Good morning, how are you? You should follow my YouTube channel. I've just started my trip from here to Montreal. It's called What in the World.
Okay, hello.
Thank you. Thank you so much. One more follower. Snow-capped mountains. It is beautiful. Anyway, a few deer. You're watching me on the bank. Just frickin' nailed day one. So beautiful, man. So beautiful. I am, I don't know, I'm just over the moon. It's also so scary. You know, like, I didn't realize, you know, when I'm looking at where I'm starting on a map, I actually didn't realize that I was starting in the middle of almost like a national park in the middle of the mountains, like mountains with snow on them, and I'm completely underdressed. After paddling 22 miles on day one, I set up camp at Preacher's Point. Day one was incredible. I felt so small. I had snow-capped mountains towering over me on either side of the river, freezing cold water straight from the glacier below me, and there was no room for error. I had to learn how to maneuver my canoe very quick or pay the price. It's safe to say there was a couple of scary moments, and that's probably an understatement. When I arrived at my first camp, I met two other campers that were packing up to leave. They told me there were 2 grizzly bears in the area, one of which has 2 cubs, and it was recently spotted 2 kilometers away. I've never seen a bear in my life, and now I'm about to be camping out on my own near 2 grizzly bears, one with cubs, and a whole lot of black bears. It was hard for me to relax at camp knowing that. I was told if you don't want bears around your camp, then you have to make noise. But it's not easy making constant noise when you're camping by yourself. So every few minutes I would let out a yelp, which I now realize sounded more like a wounded animal. So I camped in that spot for 2 nights, as the next section is to cross Abraham Lake. So I kept my bear spray very close to me for those nights. Abraham Lake is notorious for being an extremely windy lake. Because of the high mountains either side of the lake, the wind funnels through there, creating large waves and also potential to blow a novice canoer like myself to the opposite side of the lake with no chance of returning. So thankfully, the weather was perfect for crossing the river on day 3. So I had 2 freezing cold nights at that campsite. My sleeping bag is rated between 5 degrees and 35 degrees, but overnight the temperatures would drop below 0. And to add to that, my thin blow-up mattress wasn't insulated. so I slept in all my clothes, cuddling my bear spray, and still waking up shivering. But now it was time to continue paddling. All around my boat is dog prints, but something tells me they're not dogs. Alright, so I'm just about to head off. So I'm just going to show you my setup. I've got these two 28 watt solar panels, and this is the GoPro here, and it is actually suction cupped to the side. So the last time I was paddling, I had two suction cupped to the side, one facing forward, one facing back. This time this camera that I'm holding now is going to be on my head. It can fit 3, you can charge 3 things at a time, but I'm running 2 at the moment. Don't really need 3. I'm charging a drone battery, my Sony camera battery, my phone, and my Garmin InReach. Speaking of the Garmin InReach, if you become a patron, you'll be able to see where I am in real time, but that's a patron only. So I'm not going to share that on YouTube. Not only would you be supporting me and what I'm doing, but you'll also be able to see me in real time. So that's kind of cool. All right, so day 3, but day 2 of paddling. Here we go. And here we go. So in a situation like this, where the river splits, it always links back up, but still I've got a decision to make, you know? Left or right? And you've only got a certain amount of time to make it. This time I've decided to go left. I always go where the most water, but this looks about even. Well, I always try to go where there's most water. Let's see if this one's the right way. So let's hope it all links back up and hope that this one doesn't split again. Then it'll be even shallower. It's pretty incredible, really. The rain slowed down now. It's just dead quiet. And there's literally nobody around. It's me and this river in between these two, not two, gigantic mountains covered in snow. It's pretty amazing. So I can see how this would be a really, really windy spot in between two mountains here in the valley. The wind would just funnel. Well, I don't want to speak too soon, but at the moment this is perfect conditions for me. There's a wind now coming from behind. That's where we came from. This is where we're going. So that might help me out, push me down a little bit. See the mountains, all snow-capped mountains, all here. Here, and then no more. I've picked up the speed only by a couple of, like 0.2, 0.3 of a knot, but still, it all helps. So I'm just passing a good place to camp just over there, but I'm gonna risk it. It's 2:30, so I'm gonna keep going for about 2 more hours and I should be at the dam, and hopefully there's a good place to camp. That's the plan. All right, so I've got 2.4 nautical miles to go to get to the end of the lake, and it is 10 to 4, so I've got about an hours more paddling. The sun's come out a little bit, so it's nice, but I'm tired. Definitely tired. Definitely gonna sleep good tonight. I just came around the corner back there and got reception all of a sudden. So that was a nice feeling, just to get some messages come through, some messages of support. Also, I wanted to check how the last few days I've wanted to see how well my first episode is doing, because we just posted it and then I started this trip. So if this is the first episode you're watching of my content, then go back to the beginning, episode 1. Have a look, tell me what you think, and then you'll be able to follow the story of how I ended up paddling on this lake in Canada. Oh, am I happy to see you. Oh man. Excellent. But now it looks like I got to carry all my stuff quite far up a hill, which is something I don't feel like doing after a day like that. But such is life. My whole body is jelly. Now we got to get over this dam, and I don't know how. Like, I need to go for a walk and just see how it's done. So let's go. So beautiful. I probably parked the canoe up a little bit early. Where I parked it, it looked like there was like a vehicle entrance, so I thought that was probably the place, but nope. I got one bag on my back. I'll find a good place where I can bring the canoe in, drop this bag there, and go back for the rest of my stuff. All these little mounds of stone is where other people have camped in the past, but there's nobody here. It'll only be me again. You know, I was actually a little bit sad. I couldn't see over the top of this dam, but just to be leaving this sort of view, you know, like look at the mountains, and I thought I'm a bit sad to leave that, but then when I just walked up here, that's my next river. Just need to get down there. So this is actually my first portage, and it's quite difficult. I just go straight up this hill here. Don't know if the camera does that justice, but maybe that does. So I've taken 2 bags. I've still got my food barrel, which is the heaviest. It's about 15 kilo. I've got another dry bag, and then just a bunch of loose stuff like my solar panels. So it's probably going to be 1, 2, 3 more trips. The third one being the actual canoe, which is 30 kilos. So that's going to be the heaviest. Oh boy, here we go. It's just tough after a day like that, you know. Coming up to 7 o'clock. Must be, maybe it's past 7. I'm hungry. I need to set up camp, make a fire, get some food in me, and then I think I'm going to come back for the canoe. I saw some campers in the distance down by the river, so I took a risk. I walked about 25 minutes down to their camp and asked if somebody was willing to help me drive my gear down to this camp. Without hesitation, Doug jumped in his vehicle and helped me out. Now I could have stayed on top of the dam and carried all my gear down the next morning, but water is life. I needed to stay hydrated, stay clean, to cook with for my dehydrated food, and at the top of the dam, there's no water. I would have had to climb up and down the dam every time I needed water, which just wasn't ideal. So thank you to Doug and his friends and family for helping me out. It's much appreciated. And I had the whole interaction on film, as well as his generosity, sharing what he had in his camp, helping me charge my batteries with his generator, offering me food, taking me on the back of quad adventures through the forest, and it was some beautiful footage. But once again, it was lost with the rest of it. I think it's 10 to 12. Thank God that it gets dark so late in Canada. Otherwise I would have had to spend a night on the lake, which I really didn't want to do. So today was a lot of work, a lot of paddling, and then a lot of carrying all that crap uphill. I took a risk and I walked all the way down to those campers, and it paid off. They had a vehicle and they drove up the hill and brought me back down. And if they hadn't have done that, then I don't know where I'd be. I'd be fine, I just wouldn't be here. So I'm not in a big rush tomorrow. A lot of my warm clothes are wet. My thermals are wet, my hoodie's wet, my fleece is wet. So I really want to dry my stuff tomorrow morning before I move. I can't afford everything to be wet. It'll just be a nightmare and dangerous. So I'm safe and sound. I've got the tent up. I've got everything's good here. So I can I can spend a few hours in the morning trying to, even up to lunchtime maybe, drying clothes. That's my priority in the morning. Anyway, good night. Yeah, see you tomorrow. So once again, please like, share, subscribe, and say hi in the comments below. And if you really want to support my channel in a bigger way, then please consider becoming a patron, where you'll get first opportunities to come sailing with us, real-time updates, and much more. Just click the link in the description below. Thanks for watching.